just go live or not? Oh, okay. Okay, where's my control panel gone? Okay. Having that could be useful, you know. That would help. Let's see now. I hate moving things around. I'll mute this. Something different. Is that the right thing? My bit between. Well, I'm hoping this works. Not 5 for 4 today. Kind of like pondering around today. I don't know who's out there today, so I just woke up about hours ago. Slept for about, I think, about 12 hours. Really rare sleeping for 12 hours. I normally wake up about 4 or 5 hours. I don't sleep very well. Last night I had a long sleep. And, I enjoyed it. I had a good dream. I don't know what I dreamed about, but I don't remember it. I remember dreaming about something, but I don't remember the details of the dream. Weird. Anyway, today, I'm thinking of doing some home stuff. For a long time, I've been using these hello, can you for a long time I've been using these Logitech G903 mice, yeah, and they're really comfortable. Unfortunately, they have switch issues. The right switch and the left switch, sometimes they fuck up. So, and I have 2 of them, you see. So, well, I have like several of them, and I thought I'd try fixing one. Well, I tried fixing one, and try to work out what's wrong with it. So today's stream is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more electronics than anything. If you're interested in it, then yeah, I can understand. If you're not, that's fine too. Hey Slip, how you doing? See you like lurking in the background there. Yeah, so I'm gonna rip one of these things apart. We'll actually rip 2 of these apart, get the soldering iron out, and maybe swap some things around. Because I got 2 of these mice. I stripped one of them down already. The problem with these mice is that for whatever reason, the micro switch in them, they seem to fuck up. And before you know it, it's like for the first 6 weeks you're using this mouse, it's fine. and up to about a year, sometimes even half a year, depending on how much you use it, the mouse will work fine. You know, it's always the left click and the right click that pops up. In my case, it's mostly the left click, and that's really fucking annoying. So what I was planning to do is take the mouse apart and see what's wrong, what's inside it. You know, so we're going to do it this way. So for my close-up camera, which is this camera here, we're using one of my Sony cameras because, you know, I got loads of them, so they're really useful. So the first screw is a Torx screw. It's a T5, and I hate magnetic screwdrivers, but oh well, what can I do with it? The other screws are actually hidden under these pads. There's two here that's under the label. So I'm going to pull this tab thing off. It's like, I got two mice that don't work and both of them have the same issue, you know? And there's no point having two broken mice. It's better to have, hey, Logitech, sorry I got here. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Yeah, it's a Logitech G903 or G901. They're really nice mice, you know, but they're a bit an ass ache because they always fuck up and it's always the same problem. So we're going to remove the mouse feet. Just got to make sure. The mouse feet has two labels. It has the plastic thing and it has the sticky one underneath it. And sometimes they don't move very well. I don't really need to take off the whole label. I just need to take off part of it because the screws underneath it. It's an ass ache, tell you. I don't mind opening the mouse up and doing a bit open heart surgery. See, when these mice first came out, a lot of people would say, oh, they're really fragile, break and stuff like that. Oh, you got the G902, that's the I think the difference between the 902 and the 903, the 902 doesn't have the removable bit on here. This one's got a removable bit where you can have use the wireless mat, which also charges the mouse. So that's the only difference between the two. Other than that, they're the same. So basically, this is more about repairing a mouse and teaching you guys how to get into your mouse in case you want to replace the micro switches or something like that. And these mice are designed to be a pain in the ass to open up. So you've got one Torx screw here that has already been removed, and then you got 6 Phillips screws here. Now I'm using a, what's this screw top? This is a JIS0. It fits the screws really well. So see, normally my followers don't watch this type of stuff. They like IRL stuff. But I'm into gaming, I'm into doing a bit of electronics now and then, and I like to do some IRL as well. So, you know, I want my content to be a bit more varied. So if the view count's low today, I don't mind because I know that this is not going to be interesting to everyone. So I'm not going to separate the screws too much because all the screws are exactly the same. There's loads of them. You will have to take the sides off as well because you're going to have to take this out. So I think this is a really nice mouse personally, but you know, everybody have different opinions about it. So when you open it up, you have to be really careful because there's a ribbon cable at the back, and this connects the connections at the top here, the connector at the back. So to separate the two, there's a little white tab here, and you want to lift it. Just lift it with your nail. Don't try to do anything. Just lift it like that. Yeah. Then just pull the cable out. It just slides out. Huge ring of a Siren fan. Oh really? I haven't played that game. I like playing and this one. This is the power. So we're gonna have to unplug this because we need to separate the two halves. And it's a bit of a tough one this because it just pulls out. Right, you bastard. There you go. It just pulls out. So now you got two halves. This is your internal battery, and the sensor and stuff is on the bottom. The bottom part we don't have to fuck around with because there's nothing on here apart from the wheel and the sensor. So we'll put that one there. Hey Nikita, chat. Hey Marie, how you doing? We're doing some electronics today, Queen Marie. Just go and teach whoever wants to watch how to fix a mouse. This is a very expensive mouse. In the UK they sell for about £100. Hey Kat, how you doing? Nice to see you again. So we're going to repair a mouse, and this is basically a G903. You've seen them around on eBay and Amazon and stuff like that. You know, they sell for about $100. They are a really nice mouse, but they're also a very annoying mouse. So on the bottom here, you got these screws. You'll see like a whole load of screws, yeah. So we're going to separate this. We're going to separate the body from the top, and we want to remove a few screws. So we want to remove the two on the side here. Oh, what I'll do, I'll put chat here in front of me so I can see you. So, excuse me if I'm just keep looking down. I can see chat from here because I've got the chat phone here. So, we're going to we're taking that screw out here. We're going to take this one out here. These screws are bloody tiny, and there's lots of them. I mean, I see videos on YouTube where people joke about putting screws out because screws are expensive, but this mouse, they haven't like cut on screws. There's loads of them. I think there's a good 20 or 30 screws inside this mouse. We have to pry out the battery because Logitech decided to put a screw underneath it because, like, you know, you can't separate the two halves because there's a screw underneath it. So what I do, I use a ruler. This is a very it's a nice metal ruler. It's by Fibercast, and I had it for like 15 years ever since I went to school. I had this ruler, and I use it for all sorts of things. It's really useful. So I guess just stick the end into here. Just stick it straight down into the plastic, and then just slowly pry the battery out. You don't want to burst the battery because this is a lithium battery and it will explode. So you just want to ease it out slowly. See, I know it comes out because I pulled one out already. Yeah, I pulled one out already. It's just it's very, very tightly glued in. And I don't know why they use so much glue on it, to be honest, but they have. See, a lot of electronic people on YouTube and stuff, they use like plastic pry tools to get things out, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using a ruler. cannot get this battery out. I'm not kidding. It is just stuck in there. Logitech does not want you to repair this mouse, man. So what I'm doing is shoving the screwdriver into the gap. Just trying to pry it out. I mean, it will come out. Oh, there you go. See how much glue they used on this tiny little battery? It's like, it's not really glue, it's double-sided tape, but there's used a shit ton of it. They don't want this battery rattling around inside the case, you know. So what we're going to do afterwards is just stick some other tape on the back of it. It's probably equally as strong as this, but you know, it's what we have to do. So now we've got two batteries separately. So deep down in here, in the center hole here, there's a screw. There's a screw in here. And once we remove this screw, the two halves will separate. It took me bloody ages to find a screw. It was like I was looking around. I took all these screws out. I took all these side screws out. I took these screws out before, right? And the two halves wouldn't separate. And I was like, why won't it separate? What's wrong with this thing? So once you got that screw out, this top bit will pop up. It's really annoying. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. Oh, wait a minute, I've got the screw. That's why it's not moving. Oh, take the screw out. See, I know. See, most people post this type of stuff on YouTube, because it's there's a lot more that type of people over there. I mean, I have no idea how you set up YouTube, so I can make videos on YouTube, but it's easier doing this way, isn't it? So as you take all the screws out, this top bit just comes off. And then that's the back part, and then this is the hidden mouse part. Just be very, very careful with those flat flex, because this stuff is really fragile and it just break in your hand. It's a bit annoying. So we put that over there because we don't need it. Now we've got more screws to pull out. But these two screws here, this is the switch. So there's two screws from each side. So, and then this bit should just lift out. There's nothing holding it in place. It's just like there's a little metal peg there, and then that's it. This is basically your mouse button. This is your right mouse button, and this is your left mouse button. That's it. So the problem with this mouse is these two buttons here. Just these two buttons. It's always these two buttons it fails. It's never any other mouse button. So because this is the one at faulty and this one is the one that works, what I was planning to do is swap this side over to that side, because I don't really use this button as much as this button. So now, what should I do with this? I think I can pull it out without taking everything else out, or do I? I haven't been further than this in the past, because I always like, when I desolder it, I always take these two screws out of here and just desolder it from the board. But there's a plug there. There's a plug on the other side too. Whoa. Why'd you take the top bit off? More screws? Are the options to buy just the switches online? Yeah. eBay and Amazon, they have the switches online. I'll show you the code. So the buttons on these mouse are rated for 50 million clicks. But they don't seem to last 50 million clicks. Something goes wrong with them before they reach the 50 million clicks. So just again pull this section out here. On the side of the switch, can you see it? I tried to bring it up to the camera. On the side of the switch here, it tells you the numbers. It's a Omicron D2FC F-A, then it says 50M on the side in brackets. The 50M indicates that this is a pro switch, because the regular switch is 20M or 10M. 10M is the really lightweight switches. They don't last very long. So if you try to find these switches on Amazon or eBay for replacement, make sure you buy the 50M. The 50M, the Japanese version of the switch is better. I think it's got something to do with the materials than the actual switch itself. Because fundamentally the switches will work the same, yeah. And what happens is that I took one of these switches apart in the past, and what happens is that whatever materials they've used to construct this mouse button or this micro switch, it breaks down in time. So when you click on it a lot, the dust from inside the switch lands on the contact points, and that's what causes the mouse to like double click and triple click and stuff like that, and do random weird things when you're trying to use it. I mean, there is a way to rectify it. You just open the mouse, the actual micro switch up and clean it with some contact cleaner. But it doesn't last. It's like once the plastic inside the switch starts breaking down, it's like it's a downward spiral after that. It's just easiest to replace the buttons. I mean, they're not that expensive on eBay. You can buy like 3 or 4. Or I think they come in packs of 5s for about a few dollars. So it's quite cheap. I'm just stripping this down a bit further and see how far I can reach on this. Oh, magnets on the side, they're bloody annoying. Come here. So the side here, they're all these are magnetized. So when you pull screws out, they get stuck in them. Okay, there's a screw here. And there's a screw on the other side. Okay. I think I have to pull this flat flex out to get the other screw out. Otherwise, it's not going to come out. Where's my scalpel gone? Just use the scalpel to separate the flat flex from the PCB. They stuck it on. Hi Nikki, hi Ohio. Hey Pan America, how are you doing? Today we're just doing some electronic stuff. We're taking apart a mouse, and we're going to try to repair these stupid switches. By repairing the switches, I mean we're going to take this one off and going to swap it with that one. We can't just swap the board over, even though both sections are plugged in. We can't unplug this one and plug it in there because it won't mount to the board correctly. Just woke up, getting ready for my morning walk. Oh, morning walk. I haven't thought about doing morning walks. Now, this top section should come off how? Ah, man. So I'm going to pull this out. I think this one slides out. It does. I'm just going to pull the flex out here. You don't want to break the flat flex, obviously, because it won't work after that. So we just have to be really careful on it. what I'm doing right now is sticking a scalpel. I use a scalpel for a lot of things. So I'm using a scalpel here. I just pry it straight underneath the flat flex into the double-sided tape. And the idea is just to detach it from the board. This flat flex just holds the the RGB LED from the front. They stuck this down so tightly I can't pull it off. There's a reason I have to do this, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the screws that hold the other section on is underneath this flat flex, and I can't reach it without taking this off. So I've unstuck this. As you can tell, this bit of flat flex, this has an LED on the side of it. You know that ribbon cable looks fragile. Yeah, it is. It's hella fragile. So you have to be really careful with it. Don't break it. Because if you break it, the mouse buttons won't work. So this removes what then? Oh, there's 2 more screws on the front here. Logitech hasn't gone cheap with the screws, man. They just don't care. They use like there's so many screws holding this thing together. Okay, there you go. The flat flex on there is it covers the LED and it covers the controller. So there's a LED here. Well, actually, there's 3 LEDs here, and there's an LED here, and then this is the connector for all the buttons. So if you break this little flat flex, you're gonna have a hard day. You're gonna have a really bad day with your mouse. It's not gonna work. So removing that top bit allows us access to these side buttons. I mean, I don't really have to remove it, you know, because to desolder it, I can just go from underneath. I was just wondering, could I possibly swap these boards about? And no, because that board there and that board there is a mirror image. So the best thing to do is to get the soldering iron out and desolder things. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it could, you know, you're right on, it's just easier to solder in the replacements, but, you know, I don't know how many of you guys have a soldering iron, or how many of you guys do any electronics work at all. I know that the majority of gamers I know, they don't do anything like this. This is the other mouse I took apart. This mouse is they're identical mice, they have the same exact problem. This button doesn't work, and this one works. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the good working one from here and swap it into here and put this one back into here, basically. Put the soldering iron on the floor so I don't set the light, anything. Don't stand on the soldering iron, man. It fucking hurts. I tried it once upon a time. Not deliberately, just an accident. Because I don't have a solder stand. I don't use my soldering iron enough to have a solder stand. Oh, yeah, screw, stop it. So the people who come to my streams and know I would talk about technical stuff and that, they know that I take things apart. I do it quite regularly. So you're gonna have to take this one out as well. Ooh. Come on, screw. Go in a hole. Why are we not going in a hole? Oh, there's a cable in the way. So basically, I got two piles of screws here. This one is for this mouse, and another pile just off the out the side there for the other mice. Fundamentally, they're all the same screws. They're all tiny little screws. There's only one of them is a torque screw. The torque screw is there primarily for security because I imagine Logitech doesn't want you to break into their mouse and fix it for heaven's sake. But you know, if you own the mouse, then you own the mouse, right? Just tin the edge of this. Right, I don't have a soldering station or anything like that, so what I'm going to do is going to heat this up. Ideally, I think you would use a solder sucker or something to remove the solder from there, but I don't have that, so I'm going to just make do with what I've got. I think what I'm going to do is stick the blade in the edge of it here, because there's a little gap that's opened up now. It's just there for leverage. Yeah. I'll unplug it, it makes it easier. It would be easier, right, if Logitech decided that instead of like soldering all their buttons, if they just have it so it's friction fit and have slightly smaller holes so the legs can just plug into it. That'd be ideal. That way we can replace our own buttons. So I'm just like sticking the blade into the gap that I'm opening up here and just giving it a gentle turning force as I heat the pins up. I think I don't know how many gamers do anything like this. I'll be really shocked if gamers, if anybody on Twitch, other than myself and a few other people, is like do anything in electronics at all. You know, I'll be really surprised. Because I think the majority of people on Twitch who play games and stuff, I think they can barely build a PC, let alone take a mouse apart, desolder it, fix it. I mean, this is not really complicated, but it might be beyond the scope of some people, you know. Almost there. We've pulled the switch out. Now this is the good switch. That doesn't have any issues on it. Just go and clean the pins off a little bit so we can resolder it into the other mouse. Ideally, we want to buy brand new mouse pulls, but I don't have any. I ran out. So this is the one that works. We're going to do the same on this side. On the side that doesn't work, on the other mouse. It would be easier. See, I tried to take this thing off without taking the top off, right? But it's really difficult. It's too flexible. So I'm just going to take this top off quickly. Yeah, trying to fix this stupid double click problem from Logitech. Always the same problem with these mice. I have loads of these mice, right? And it's every bloody time it's the same button. Oh, you stupid magnets. Hate these things. Come here. Switch to Razer. I have like, I'm not kidding, I have like about 10 of these mice, right? And it's always the same bloody problem. You see, it doesn't matter if I switch to Razer, or any mouse, right? It's easier to replace the bloody micro switches that they use, because micro switches, they're all standard. You can change a different manufacturer, you know, and as long as the placements of the pins are the same distance away, you can use any micro switch. Oh, Razer use optical switches, huh? So this one, I'm just going to leave it there. Pull this thing out. Oh, man, everything's falling out. So that one's from that mouse. This is the good switch, and this is the bad switch. Acer's new mouse has a hot swappable mechanism. Ooh, that's what I was thinking. You know, I don't know why see. Logitech could do something like that with the boards. All they need to do is, you know, when they build these, when they make the PCB, right? All they need is to have copper going through the board, right? And that way we can just hot swap the switches when they break. It'd be so much easier. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if Logitech implemented that, right, they can sell these mic replacement switches for days as a module, you know, and you know, every time somebody's mouse breaks, they can just buy a new module for it. It'd be so much easier, wouldn't it? See, I like this mouse. Honestly, I do. Um, it's I find it's really comfortable, and the software allows me to program the left and right buttons completely different, which is hella useful. Because this mouse allows you to be ambidextrous because it's got left and right side clicks for both left and right hands. But in the software, if you're right-handed, you can program the right side to be for something else other than backwards and forwards. Yeah, I think you would like the Razer. Oh, I might have to give that one a try. Do you use a lot of Do you use a lot of Razer stuff? Oh, no wireless charging. I thought Logitech had wireless charging on their mice. So I'm going to clear this up, just so I can put it back into the other board. Okay, so this is the switch that works, and that one I just took out. So actually, you know, Logitech has they've had they've actually the through hole that goes from one side to the other. They've actually tinned it so it's got copper in it. So you know they could, if the hole is just slightly little bit bigger, smaller, they could just allow you to hot swap the switches into it. They could do it. What did you do? I hate the default. That's the one I took out. See, the thing I like about this mouse is it's wireless, and I don't have to worry about charging it because I just leave it on the mouse pad and it just charges itself. So that's what I like about this. So we're gonna stick this into here. Just gonna reflow some of these pads on here. Because I don't like the solder that they use from the factory is lead free, and I don't like it. The lead free solder they use is like it's healthier for us, you know. But it also cracks easier. So, shove the working switch into the hole of the board for the right button, the left button. So this one will go back into the other mouse. I'm just going to resolder the switches back on. I tell you, right, in the past I used to use Cooler Master mouses, the MX mouse from Cooler Master, and it's a pretty nice mouse, you know. Pretty smooth soldering job. Well, thank you very much. I've done a lot of like electronic soldering in the past, and it's just like it's a skill you pick up, you know. So what we're going to do here is this is the mouse the second mouse I took apart. This one has, what I've done is like, this one is the one I want to keep, okay? And we're going to put this back in here. So, put that back in there for a second. Solder this switch back onto this board. Just going to clean the pins off first to make it easier. Just going to reflow some solder onto here. This is leaded solder. Leaded solder is nicer to work with. Oh, I did that already. I did it with was it a K-Blade 7700K? I used razor blades. So I'm going to resolder the switch back onto there. Oh, missed the other side. See, the reason why I do this, okay, because these mouse are still under warranty, according to Logitech. So I'm just going to send them back. So as you can see, we soldered the switch back on. It looks as good as new. Yep, looks as good as new, right? I don't know if you see it. I'll just show it to you. I don't think this camera focuses that closely, but you know, it looks pretty good. So this is the mouse that we took apart completely. So I'm just going to throw this on the junk pile over here and fix the other mouse first. See, the thing is, I don't just repair mouse and stuff. I take anything apart. I take the keyboard apart. I take the cameras apart. You know, the Sony cameras that everybody use for IRL. I'll take them apart as well. You know, if it's got, for me, the thing is like, if it's got screws in it or it's got nuts and bolts in it, I'm happy to take it apart. Are you sure you didn't work in a factory somewhere in China? So this mouse, this is the mouse that I want to keep. I'm going to put this back in its hole. I need some leverage to poke the thing in. 1 second. Tweezers. Tweezers are helpful. I was going to do some more IRL today, but I thought, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to spend one day in, and tomorrow I plan to wake up a bit earlier and go somewhere. It's like, just doing IRL in Manchester gets a bit boring, doesn't it? I never went to Radio Shack, you know, because their electronic components are more expensive than everybody else's. I mean, they sell I remember when Radio Shack was still around, they used to sell like resistor packs for like, I think it's like 20 cents or something like that for 5. And I could go to like Farnell Electronics here in England and get a whole strip of 20 for like 20 pence. So Radio Shack isn't really a place I went for electronics because they were just too expensive. So this one is the one that works. You know, it'd be good if we have magnetic screwdrivers that are switchable, so you can press a button and the magnet would work, right? And you can press a button again, and the magnetism would turn off. That'd be really cool. And these buttons here, these are also micro switches, but I don't have any problems with them. It's never those buttons I have problems with. It's always some other button. Go on top, or does it go underneath? So this goes on top like this. Forgotten how it goes in now. Wrong hole, man. Wrong hole. Oh yeah, gotta go underneath here. Oh shit, I gotta make sure the wire's not in the way. Yeah, this switch goes onto here, onto the little dimple in the middle of here. Yeah, it's just to change the mode from clicky and non-clicky. Hey, I don't mind this. You know what? I don't mind this alien design, right? It's really comfortable to use. I just wish the mice last longer. You know how people joke about Dell being rubbish and stuff like that? Yeah. Look, I have this Dell mouse that I bought. I got this mouse free in 2017, right? It uses one battery. The battery lasts for like 6 months or something like that. And it's got little micro switches in it. I've never had any issues with this mouse. And this mouse is like, I think it's like $20 new. It's got a USB transceiver thing in there. And it just uses one battery, right? And it's got like micro switches in there. It's got left and right click. And it does everything that your gaming mouse does. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't have the high precision that a gaming mouse has. And this thing is faultless. Why can't Logitech make mouses like Dell does, eh? I bet the Dell one is made by a Chinese company, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Really? I buy the ones I'm using is the Onlook Pro. Oh, rebranded. I used the Onlook Pro and I've had them for long time. I bought them when I was in Japan. Put these screws back in here. Did I just F or something? I like it when you disassemble your expensive gear. Hey, dude, I disassemble everything. I'm not worried about it. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you have warranty, yeah. And warranty and stuff. I don't know about in America, but in the UK, they don't honour... You know how, like, some things have stickers on them? Like the warranty stickers and stuff? They don't mean anything in this country. They never have. And companies, when you return things to a company and stuff in the UK, typically as long as they receive it back, they don't care. But I bought these mouse from Logitech directly, and when I have problems with them, I just send them back to Logitech. I'm just checking to make sure this cable's plugged in properly because it doesn't look like it's plugged in properly. Must be okay then. This is the this isn't the hero sensor. This is the what's this sensor? I can't remember what it's called. It's not the hero sensor. I don't like the hero sensor personally. So this goes in this way. Weird this. There's like two little ears here and this slides into between two ears. Well, it used to slide into between the two ears. Or maybe it slides in from underneath then. Or maybe it doesn't slide in. Oh, you know what? I forgot the buttons. Can you plug it into the test before reassembly? I can't because it's in two halves. You know? It's like, this is what I see. I know it works because I solder it together, and my soldering never sucks. So I got. It's like the thing is like the receiver's on here, and you know, it's like the thing with this mouse is it's not like a Logitech mouse. It's not like every other mouse. It's like you have to reassemble both parts. So you can't just plonk this on top and be done with it because you got to put the battery in as well. It's just the way it's being built is just an arse ache, honestly. As you can tell, this mouse has not had much use on it because it's not as shiny as the other mouse. The other mouse is super shiny. I wonder to myself, is this mouse assembled by humans or is it assembled by machine? Because it's got like a shit ton. Can you imagine if this was done by a machine, right? The robot that assembled this mouse, it'd probably be really intelligent. There's just so many bloody parts to it. I even take apart my laptop, honestly. For me, I don't really care about how much something costs, you know. If I can get into it, I'll take it apart. Just making sure the screws are all tight in there. And still clicky. Have to put the back on first. Oh look, it looks like a mouse now. Everything is glued. No, there's no glue in this mouse. Everything on this mouse is clicked together. It's just that there's lots of little funky screws everywhere. There's 6 screws holding the back shell on. Oh, for the 2020 series graphics card. Yeah. And Nvidia glued everything together because they, well, it's a founder's card. They don't expect you to take it apart to put a water cooler on it. But you know, glue is easy to take off, man. You just have to heat the thing up. Oh man, don't put a torque screw in a normal hole, it doesn't fit. I don't mind the time consuming bit because at the end of the day, you know, I'm getting a mouse that works. Yeah, this has to go under here because that's where it's supposed to go. Under here. This one doesn't need to have to be re-glued and stuff like that because there's plenty of double-sided tape still left on there. Yeah, where's the rechargeable battery gone? Okay, so this is the rechargeable battery. This one's I took off. This is the second one I took off, and this is the first one. I don't know. Can you buy these separately? To be honest with you, you know, the lifetime of these batteries lasts for ages, and I think the battery outlasts the actual mouse because the mouse has problems with it. I'm really surprised that Logitech hasn't addressed those issues. I'm sure they get shitloads of returns, you know. So as long as the it doesn't, as long as the battery doesn't fall out, that's okay. Because if it falls out, it's going to rattle in here and that's going to be annoying. So what we're going to do now is plug in the flex first before we plug in the power cable. How are we going to do this? And does it work? Lights are on. So does that mean there's somebody home? I'm going to plug in the cable so I can use it on my computer. Hey, the mouse doesn't do weird things anymore. And I can move Chrome now, but I couldn't move Chrome before because every time I clicked on it, it would either close it or open it or expand it. That's it. Okay, it seems to work fine. Turn this thing off because we still have screws to put in. I still got the other mouse to fix. So put the torque screw in. Have I not found the right hole? Is that why it's not going in? Do I buy new feet? I don't, you know. I just use the old ones. I mean, you can buy new feet, right? But the only time I buy new feet on a mouse is when I lose them. Because sometimes you can lose the mouse feet and they just come off and you lose them. Hello, screws. Yeah, when you remove the mouse feet, it's made from a strange material, right? And when you put them back on again, they're not as smooth as they were before. But it's okay because like I don't use a hard mouse mat, I use a soft one. So it doesn't really affect it so much for me. I think this is the wrong screw because it's too short. It's like you can buy replacement mouse feet on this, but they're quite expensive, and the people who make them, they're not. The glue on them is a bit hit and miss. Sometimes the glue is really good, and when you stick them on, they stay on. But I find the Logitech glue stuff is okay, you know. It's not going to be perfect, but you know, what can I say? I think having the mouse being working is more important than whether it has feet or not. I don't know. You know, some people might argue differently. See what I do? I just put a screwdriver on top of it just to level it out a bit, because you want the feet to be level. I think that's pretty good. I did try to remove the front before because I was looking for screws, right? And the front section under here, they have no screws on this section. So don't need to remove this at all. There's no screws in there. This has a label on it, but the label is a bit scuffed. Like, look at it. I don't know why. I think it's being caught when I like move it around the fabric. This side is like kind of a bit raised and stuff like that. So it's a bit scuffed. It's a fake. It's now a fake. Technically, it's a fake mouse, isn't it? Because it's been surfaced. It doesn't have all the original parts in it anymore. So stick the buttons back on the side. Oh, that's that side. I think that one goes on. Oh, that one goes on that side. Yay! Look, it looks like an original mouse now. I know that the other mouse I'm going to put together, it's not going to be anywhere as good as this because all the feet are being torn off. But we can put it back together again. So this one has 2 faulty buttons now. Oh. Hey Roy, how you doing? So just making sure the circuit board's in the right holes before I put the screws in. Otherwise we won't put the screws in the right holes. Just go and tuck the cables out the way here. Because like if the cables are not, see what I found out is that when these cables are not tucked in the right places, yeah, and when you put the top on, the little plastic bits have to slide in this gap here, and they won't slide in. So this is the triggers for the top section, which just sit there. Oh, I mean that's the wrong way. That way. So the buttons are on the top. These ones don't screw in, they just sit there because this section clamps on top of it. So see these little pointy bits here? These go into the little gap there at the front. Like that. And once that's in, you can put the screws back on. And when I took this apart, I realized that the plastics on here all use really short screws. It's probably because the plastic's really thin. And it's nice to see Logitech use so many screws to put this mouse together. It means that if you throw it against the wall, it's not, and it shatters the little pieces, you can reassemble it again. Yeah, because I know that you're going to get mad and throw things against the wall. I mean, I do it. You know, when you lose a game or something like that, you just get angry and frustrated. You can't be helped. So you just want to throw things against the wall. It's natural instinct. And being like a mouse that's fully assembled by screws, well, you could just pick up all the parts and stick it all back together again, isn't it? How are you doing, Roy Story? I bet you never thought I'd be doing a fixing stream today, eh? You know, because normally I just do computer-based stuff or IRL stuff. Okay, need to find more screws. So the buttons are on here now. They still feel like normal buttons, to be honest with you. It's just when they plugged into the computer, they just do different random things. It's weird. Just need to put this in the right place. There's two little plastic bumps there. Just have to locate them and shove it on top of the bumps. Like that. Basically, this is just an LED. So when the cover's on and this light glows, it's from here. That's what it is. Turns out this flat flex here, it doesn't go all the way in because there's like a little clip here, and when you line them up and push it in, it just pushes little tabs in, which is really nice. So need to put the back on. Well, that one's easier than the other one. I actually find this quite therapeutic, you know. In a minute. That's the wrong screw. That's the top screw I'm trying to put in. I was like, why can't my screwdriver fit on it? Oh, I know, it's the wrong screw. Okay. I do like this wheel thing where they trim down on the weight and stuff by by making it into like put spokes in it. It feels really good. There's just so many little things about this mouse that I like, and also the downfall is that I think it's breaking down. But if you know how to fix it, it's okay. Stick that battery back in there using the existing sticky thing. Put this back over here like this. So this, just make sure that this is facing the right way, otherwise you won't get the cable in. I tried fixing the PS4 a while back. Found out that it needed replacement HDMI chip. Getting those chips are quite difficult, in my opinion. Other people found a way to get the chips from other PS4s, but it's just a little chip in there. There you go. Why do I have one extra screw? Is that screw going near the mouse? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I have an extra screw. Did I miss a screw on this mouse? It's like, that's not supposed to happen. When you put everything back together again, you're not supposed to have any extra screws, Let me just check this. Double check this. I'm really curious. stop it. Okay. Okay. Put the screws back in again because there was a screw missing. Before I put that thing together, going to do some cleaning on the bottom. Maybe remove some of the glue that's picked up all the dust and stuff. One of these is a torque screw, isn't it? Where's the torque screw? Oh, they're both torque screws. Okay. Yeah, that one works too. And that works too. There's two different colours on here for a reason. This one's the second mouse. That's how I know. This one's just this one's the mouse that I was using originally. So we're going to clean this off with some paper. I just got some paper. Just use some I don't have any alcohol to clean this up because a fresh alcohol, so I'm using petroleum spirit. Petroleum spirit is really good for removing glue because it dissolves it. And then this is a sticker that was on this mouse. It's really scuffed. Look at it. This is just from using it on the mouse pad. I don't know why, but the mouse pad just took off all the paint off the sticker. Might help if I center it first though. Look at that. It's almost perfect with that, except the black bits. Don't mind the black bits, personally. Ideally, you want to get some new, fresh mouse pads. The mouse feet. You can buy them on Amazon and stuff, but they're quite expensive for what they are, because it's made from like some sort of Teflon type material. You know, it gives it a bit more glide, but you know, I don't mind. I just use the same mouse. This one's going back to Amazon to Logitech anyway. The warranty replacement. Sure. It seems to be fine. I mean, ideally, I would like the mouse pad and everything to be perfect, but you know, you remove them, they're not going to be perfect because it's a funny Teflon material, and once it's bendy, it's bendy. See, this one's brand new, right? And even though the mouse feet on here is not perfect either. And I just noticed there's a difference. The green ones here are the non-hero mouse buttons. And the green ones here is like, you see the switch here? It's green, isn't it? Yeah, this is like the non-hero version. And this one here is the hero version, it's blue. That's how you tell the difference. Same with this one. This is a non-hero version and it's green. The non-hero version is better, in my opinion. A lot of people like the hero sensor because they feel it's better, but I actually think the non-hero sensor, I think it's that PWM something or PWW something, I think that one's better personally. It's down to personal preference at the end of the day. Pulling a bit of dirt off the bottom of the feet because it's not going to sit flat otherwise. Oh, I mean, it might help if I line it up properly first, eh? Just something stuck to the bottom of the feet. That's not supposed to be there. Hold it off. I personally don't mind the feet being a little bit scuffed. You know, when you use on a fabric mouse mat, you don't really feel the difference, in my opinion. And finally, it's like, there's loads and loads of different mice out there because everybody has their own preference in what they feel is a good, comfortable mouse. And for me, I like this mouse because I hold my mouse like this, you see. So if the mouse has got like a different shape, I find it really uncomfortable. I tried the a different mouse in the past, the G what's it called, G903, which is a really popular mouse for gaming and stuff. But I didn't like it. It wasn't comfortable for me. It felt kind of weird. Did I just put the two mouse button on the wrong place? Why do I have two of those? Oh, there you go. And there we have it. Hey, yikes. Wrong one. This one. There you go. Not bad, eh? It feels okay. This one's had a bit more wear. This one has less wear. This is the newer one, but the new one failed. It's really annoying. But what can I do? Can't do nothing about it. So, anyway, the mouse is fixed, and I'm kind of happy with it. I mean, it's not ever going to be as perfect as a brand new one, but you know, if it works, it works, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh, a minute. Plug in its power lead. That's really slow. Oh, I'm happy. Oh. But, okay. Go back to a normal talking video now. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Just thought I'd show you how to fix the mouse, you know. I mean, we all use these mices and stuff, and some fail, and a lot of mices, like, we just throw them away because they're cheap. Other mices we tend to repair and try to keep them last longer because they're expensive mice, and they should last longer than what I don't know. I think the Logitech mouse should last a lot longer, personally. Hey, yay. Oh man, I have to move this back where it was supposed to be. What have you guys been up to anyway? What I'm going to do with this is I think I'm going to restart the stream because mouse fixing stream, you know, leave it separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in a second. I'm going to stop the stream and restart it.